Hey there, this is luckyDminor with another episode of For Player Chess, free for all. And those who follow my channel have noticed I did not upload a video in more than a month. And to be honest, I didn't even play many games during that time. I played like three games. Today was the last one. And there's a reason. So before that, I reached 2,300 points in ranking. This was kind of a big success for me for my quality of play, and I was scared. I was scared to drop down again. That is one reason. The other reason is I play this game for fun, and if you are kind of around 2,000 ranking points, it's just fun. You win, you lose, everything's fine. When you get into the higher rankings, it starts to become a sport, and people try to be serious about it, and you have to partner with your opposite, and you have to get your queen out, you have to try and play a fast win. At least that is how I feel about it. And it and it was kind of pressure to me, and I want it to be a hobby. I want it to be fun, and I don't want it to be like a tough sport on me in my free time. So I kind of did not really like to play. And also, I prefer the game much more if it's with no clear teaming structure. So above 2,300 points, you get into that. You have to team in the beginning. So, so I was kind of scared. And then after a few weeks of not playing, I noticed, of course, that I'm out of training, and so I got even more afraid to lose. So I played like two games. I lost them very easily. I mean, I became third or second, maybe. So I dropped below 2,300 ranking points. I'm now at 2,278. And that's not a big problem. But I noticed that it's tough for me to play if there's not another goal to reach. So now that I reached 2,300, and I noticed I don't want to even try to get higher. So what's my next goal? So today I played a game, and I just wanted to like come back into the fun mode. And it was quite an interesting game. So I was feeling motivated to make another review. So I'm playing with Yevgeny. I played him before. He's a good player. He's much higher in ranking than I am. And then there's Lampiro, and I don't know how to pronounce that. Jadla Joye. Sorry for mispronouncing. So around 2,000 points. Um, so let's see if we can have fun with that game. So I opened just with my king's pawn. I wanted to play it safe and leave all possibilities open for getting out my queen, getting out my bishop, playing in a partner mode with yellow if needed in the beginning. And blue opens with the queen's pawn, yellow also with the king's pawn. That's good for both of us, so we can both get out our queens if needed. Um, and green also with the queen's pawn. So blue and green possibly going for promotions. Well, blue only opened with a single step. And I saw that, of course, here now the diagonal to the king is open. So I brought out my queen and invited yellow to play a team's game with me in FFA here. At least threatened green a bit here. So blue is also getting out his queen, and yellow is also preparing to get out his queen. So now if green doesn't react, that move with check, and then that move with another check protected by the bishop, that would already be made. So how could green stop that threat? Well, possibly with that knight move, or with that bishop move, or with that pawn move. All that moves would be good, but he's playing something else. He's playing the knight, maybe thinking that this queen move would be a threat, but he would just have enough items to just take the queen. And even though it's double protected from yellow, I would never play that. So, but now, of course, I can play check, and now it's up to blue. Does blue see any possibilities to defend green against an early mate? Because if blue loses his opponent very early in the game, that may be disastrous for him too. So what could he do? Well, at this point, he could sacrifice his queen, but do not know if that would be a smart idea. um, Basically, that all he could do, but I wouldn't do it. So he just develops, and after a while, yellow saw the mate. And he won 20 points on it, or 21 points. And I got nothing. But I got rid of green. And since blue is my strongest opponent, blue is on the left, I didn't feel very comfortable. So I was very happy to get rid of green early on in the game, even though I basically gave away 21 points to yellow. So I pulled back my queen just for safety, and blue started his pawns to march. Yellow develops. I develop my pawn, possibly thinking of promotions. Well, here's a pawn in the way, maybe here. Blue develops. Yellow starts to push a pawn. I continue pawn pushing. Blue also opens up a diagonal for his bishop. So blue is not attacking yellow, even though yellow has highest points here. But of course, I'm on the right side of blue, so maybe smarter for him to attack me and also to push pawns here. And yellow also pushes a pawn on the other side. I take time to block those pawns here, since that pawn was gone from that field, so it can never now attack from there. So I felt this was a quite stable pawn position for myself. And blue closes the position completely, and I was happy about that. I was thinking now, okay, blue understands that we should not fight against each other. Maybe we can now together attack yellow, because he's the point leader, and then I may have a good chance to create a queen on that side and maybe even win the game. Yellow starts pushing in the middle, and I bring out my bishop in order to protect that pawn and to allow that pawn to take that knight to attack the queen and to get ready for promotion. Okay, so what is blue doing here? Opening a line for the bishop, but taking back his queen, basically. Attacking my pawn here, which is defended. Well, it's now double attacked, so at some point he could sacrifice. Well, it wouldn't even be a sacrifice here. He could just take with the knight. Well, maybe that's his idea. And yellow continues to push his pawn. And I was thinking I can attack yellow queen, would slow down the yellow pawn promotion, would possibly give blue a chance to, well, maybe within 2 moves, stop the yellow pawn from promotion. I didn't see that he could take my pawn here. But of course, this also was kind of the first signal from my side that even though I partnered with yellow to kill green, I'm now attacking his queen. Of course, it's not a severe attack, he can just move it back. And blue doesn't take my pawn, that's good. Yellow brings back his queen, and I continue, and I'm going for my own promotion here. Blue is moving over with his knight, so he's not threatening my pawn anymore. That's good. So at this point, I'm thinking, okay, blue understands that we possibly together can be strong against yellow. Blue has no chance to stop me from promotion here on this field. But he's also not doing something to stop yellow. So yellow's also going to promote. I do not really have a good move to stop him from doing that, so I just promote myself. Blue develops, he's playing it slow, and yellow develops. Yellow promotes. So now yellow and red, we both have 2 queens. We are strong on the board. Green is dead. And the only difference between yellow and red is that yellow has 21 points more. So at this point, I was still hoping that blue would kind of together with me play against yellow. I still have the option together with yellow to play against blue. But that would only be my second best option because of yellow's point lead. So I move back my queen into safety, but also I have an eye on that pawn, which is only defended by the king. And I thought that this position would be good for the queen to keep this option here. And blue's still playing slow. I don't really like the bishop on that position. Whenever he moves that pawn, the bishop would attack my queen and possibly later the king. Yellow develops, I develop. Blue brings his rook over, and yellow is starting to march with another pawn. And here I'm getting kind of worried because I do not want to have yellow get a third queen on top of his point lead. Maybe it would even have been a smart idea because then yellow would, or blue would have another motivation to attack yellow with me. But I thought it would be better to stop that pawn from promotion. But first I wanted to finish my pawn structure here on the queen side. And here another interesting move by blue. So he's not attacking that pawn anymore, which is now protected. Well, even double. And he's bringing his queen on a line where he can come over into yellow's position, but he does not have really good, well, fields there to attack. So it's just a slow development for the queen. And yellow starts or continues his march. So I block yellow, hoping that yellow would like stop his move, and possibly blue would support me with that. Blue makes a pawn's move. Maybe he wants to bring out his bishop in order to attack yellow. And yellow, of course, pushes me away with his knight. So I move back. Um, and blue makes another slow development move. So at this point, I feel like blue is trying to wait for yellow and me to fight it out. Yellow continues to move. He has double protection on that field. So if I want to stop him, I bring my bishop over. Now I have a double attack on that field. So he might possibly not try and queen. Blue makes that bishop move and brings some attacking force towards yellow. And yellow is promoting his queen anyway. So at this point, I'm thinking, like, should I take the queen? He would possibly take my bishop. So I would lose a bishop, he would lose a queen, and blue would be happy. So I didn't want to trade with yellow here. So here I made another decision, and maybe that was a big mistake on my side. So I sacrificed my bishop for a pawn. And I'm clearly telling blue I'm teaming with yellow here, and I'm attacking blue. My idea was also to open up that line here. So on the one hand, I'm weakening the blue king. On the other hand, there are possibilities for the rook attacking those queens here. Um, so that was my idea. And I was hoping that blue takes with the rook, attacks that queen, and I can then take that queen unpunished. Or if yellow would take back, then the rook would also take that rook. So I was thinking yellow is losing two queens and a rook here, and I'm only losing a bishop and a rook. So that was my long-term strategy. Um, so let's see. Blue does not take with the rook, he takes with the bishop. So he does not attack the yellow queens, and therefore my plans are not working. Oh, but yellow still takes the bishop. So he thinks I can take a bishop and a rook for a queen. And he is possibly pretty sure that I'm teaming with him, since I sacrificed my bishop. So he thinks we can win against blue now, and he feels strong enough to then still win the endgame against me. So, but at this point, I'm not supporting him, I'm falling in his back. Thinking that now, if blue takes, and yellow takes, and blue takes, I have the winning position here. And blue takes, and yellow takes, and I just move over my knight here. I didn't want to get any checks from the rook there, so therefore I blocked that file. And now I'm expecting, of course, for blue to take a free rook. And if blue takes that rook and threatens to come with his rook here, threatening the bishop and the king, I feel like we have a very strong game against yellow, even though yellow already has 30 points. I feel like this is winning for blue and me, and I feel like I would be stronger than blue in the end game. But blue's not doing it. I'm not sure why. I mean, he's playing a big risk here. If Yellow could even continue to trade items with him. Of course, now since I took a queen of yellow, yellow knows that I'm not partnering with him anymore. Um, so he's making a rook move. He's blocking his bishop. Um, I don't know what Blue's plan were here. If he wanted to really partner with yellow against me for some reason. Maybe he noticed that I was kind of trying to play against both of them in a kind of tricky way. So yellow moves back his rook, and I bring out my queen again. I was thinking possibly I can at some point give an attack there. Um, but also I wanted to make space for my bishop to come, my knight to come out. Also, I wanted to get my queen away from that bishop's diagonal. So many reasons to move that queen. Okay, and blue is moving his knight over there. Maybe possible attacks at some point on yellow, but maybe just king safety here. Yellow moves back and kind of blocks me away from that pawn. And I develop my knight. Blue's bringing the rook out. And what is he doing there? Does he want to attack? Maybe double attack that knight at some point? Now his bishop has an eye on that knight as well. So maybe he's seeking for some way to attack yellow together with me. So I'm not understanding blue's game here. That was my big problem. And here, yellow is, whoopsie, sacrificing his queen, I believe unwillingly. Of course, he could take back with either of those items, and blue would lose his bishop. But I was thinking, of course, well, blue didn't take the rook here. Why should he now take the queen? So I'm just making a development move, waiting for things to happen. And he doesn't take the queen. So this is already the second item of yellows that blue doesn't take, even though he could, with at least some winning chances. It really seems like blue doesn't want to get in between me and yellow. He wants me and yellow to fight it out. So he steps away from clear attacks, both on me or on yellow. Yellow develops further. I bring my rook over for development. And blue protects his king. Yellow brings a knight over. I'm now thinking, okay, here may be some attacks even with check on blue. So I decide to attack blue and to open this diagonal for my bishop to get out. Blue's not just moving away, but moving into my territory as I felt it. I was not happy about that. And yellow is not attacking blue, just making some low development move. Well, oh, I could have taken that pawn. Let's move back. Okay, instead of attacking blue at this point, I could have done another step on yellow. I didn't see it. I think this would have been the better move. Then I would also attack the bishop, even with check. So possibly blue could attack yellow immediately in that moment. Well, I didn't see it. I didn't do it. I attacked blue. Maybe another mistake on my side. So he kind of counter-attacked me. Yellow protects himself. And I continue to attack blue here, wanting to drive his rook away. Um, and to my surprise, he sacrifices his rook. So he didn't take a free yellow rook. He didn't exchange his bishop for the yellow queen, but now he exchanges his rook for my knight. I was surprised. So in a way, I created it for myself because I was kind of attacking blue, and then I was attacking yellow, and I was attacking blue again. I spoke in some earlier review about this wavering attacks, which is not a good strategy in many situations. So he now sacrifices his rook. And I, of course, see that this is kind of dangerous for me because when I take, he can possibly then move another pawn and break open my pawn structure here and come in with his queen and threaten my king. And that is pretty dangerous while yellow at the same time is looking at my position strongly here. So it may be a smart sacrifice by blue. Anyway, I feel I have to take that rook. And yellow is castling and waiting. And here's the pawn attack. I cannot. I was thinking about moving the pawn up. Then he could take, would have a double pawn. That would have been smarter, possibly. Anyhow, I was taking that pawn, especially since I saw that yellow was moving over here. I was hoping for a check on blue at some point. Queen comes in. And here, for example, if yellow would now sacrifice his knight, I would come over and win the queen. But yellow doesn't do it. And I just protect my pawn here with my queen. And I didn't see and didn't watch my king's safety in this moment. So the pawn is one thing, but the risk for getting checked and then getting attacked by yellow is much bigger here. And blue is, of course, seeing that. And yellow is taking immediate benefit from that. I have to move. He continues to take from me. And yellow continues to take from me. Wow, yellow is even again offering his queen. So now blue could take the yellow queen. And we both could still win against yellow. Oh, maybe that was another mistake on my side. Maybe blue would have taken that queen. I was, of course, thinking blue would take my rook and check me. And while he's checking me, yellow takes another item from me. Or even mates me. Therefore, I needed to do something. But I should have possibly moved the queen over there to protect my rook and leave the queen undefended there. So I moved there. And there's another check on blue from blue on me, which I didn't see. It's another chance for yellow to move, and this is mate, of course. So yes, in this moment, blue basically offered another mate on for yellow. So yellow now has 35 points. Blue has no chance to become first, so blue is playing for second here, clearly. And I was making some mistakes, and I suddenly, after a good start in the game, ended being third. So, of course, being third is not a big loss, um, but neither a win. And there would have been chances for winning here. So, good game, yellow. Also, kind of smart game, blue. I still think that possibly blue would also have a chance to win if he played differently, but at least he played for a secure second place. So thank you for playing and have a nice day.